So I welcome you once again in this session. We have discussed lots of concepts so far regarding the loop. We started with while and then for loop. Now we gonna in this particular class we gonna discuss little more about the for loop. Okay, although we discussed lots of things yesterday as well. So I hope you remember all these things. If not, then you can revisit to this video and make clear your concepts. So now, if I want to print something like that, can I do that? Let me. So the by default is like int displayed over here. If I want to, if my desire is to print like double values, for an example, double, I already have been take. Let's take d is 1.0 for an example, and d is less than equal to, let us say, 10.0. Okay, and at the end d plus plus. If I want to print this d, so will it work? Like instead of integer, I have taken double. Will it? What do you think? Like, we'll get any kind of error, or what kind of output we may expect? Any idea, Aswini? If you have any idea, then
And then this will work 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, like
okay, okay, okay.
up to
Let's
10.
see the. That's great. Yeah, thank you. Let's see the output. Yeah, so you are right. Like this console C sharp was printing like the simple syntax 1, 2, 3, but yeah, it's same like 1.0, 2.0. You were right. The output is kind of that. That means this for loop is not. Please be on mute. So this for loop is not restricted to the integer type of value only. We can print any kind of value like double, the integer family values like double, integer, float, decimal. Okay, everything we can use over here instead of that data type. We would define the same kind of value we need to provide over here, and we can do the further operations. Okay, so we can discriminate these lines using these separators. Okay, now my question to you, all of you, is like, can we use character in for loop just like we have used double or integer? Can we use, my question is, can we use char in for loop? Answer is yes, but how this will work, let us see practically. Let me define an vector type of loop. Let us say char c. A character is always either 0 to 9 or like A to Z, capital A to Z, small a to Z. So let us see, we are doing these operations with capital A to Z. Okay, so the value of C is, let's consider it's A. Okay, and I am taking like C is less than equal to Z. Okay, and at the end I'm like writing C plus plus. Okay, okay, so let us increase, let's print the C. Always one more thing you need to remember, like here we have written E1 plus 2. So can we write it like this, E1 plus plus and again plus plus? No, we cannot write it like that. Plus plus would be single time only, and we can increase the value with one only. There is no there is no as such way to increase the value by two directly. So that's why we put write the mathematical operation like E1 plus 2 over here. Okay, so this plus plus sign can be used only once, not like multiple or triple. Okay, let's make it separated. So what do you think, like what kind of output we may expect? I'll run this and show you. This is also a famous interview question. Can we print the character values using for loop, and what kind of output you will get like you will get the ASCII values. As I initially told you that at the time of data type, already have told you that every character value has its an ASCII value. So in the output we will get going to print the ASCII values or like A to Z. Let us see. Yeah, let me. I guess it was not closed. Just closed and run it again. Yeah. So you can see the output we got is A, B, C, D, F, A to Z values. So this is an interview question as well. How to print A to Z using for loop. So this is one of the easiest way, like print A to Z. So initially, internally, how it's working? Internally, it's like identifying the ASCII numbers for this character and like doing in that way. But like externally, we are getting the output as alphabetic from A to Z. So now, for an example, if you want to, let us say one more example of this. If I write it like this, that will give you a good idea about how it's working. Let us say we have a number and is 97. Okay, 97, is a kind of ASCII value. So we cannot define like 97 directly to the character. So 97 is an integer kind of value. So that's why we need to change the data type. Here n, and here I'm giving it should be less than and equal to 122. Okay, and I am again increasing the value of n by 1, n plus plus. Okay, and I would like to print n over here. Now what kind of value I'm going to get? Will I get the character type of value or simple like from 97 98 incremental value of this particular integer? Of course, according to me, we should get the numeric values only because we don't have any process over here to convert this integer into a character. Let us see how it's working. Always remember these small concepts. This will be very helpful at the real time. Yeah, you can see you easily got printed the values starting from 97 to 122, 97, 98, 99. Okay, till further like how long? It's up to 122. Okay, cool. Now, if the interviewer may ask you like, I want to get this particular output in the form of character. Okay, not like numeric values. I want character values like A, B, C, and till G. Like so, to do that, you what you need to do? You just put or this concept is called typecasting. I also explain you this particular casting at one other place also in the past lectures. So yeah, you maybe remember that. You just need to put char before this integer. So internally, what we'll do? We will get an numeric value, integer kind of value over here, and this character statement will convert that particular numeric into a character value, and we gonna get a different kind of value this time. Let us execute and see the result by yourself. Yeah. So this time, what kind of output you get? A, B, C. This time, character kind of output you have received. Yeah. So remember all these things. These are very minor thing, but like very important from the interview perspective and from the knowledge as well. Okay, how to like print these kind of character values. Okay. So I hope you have understood these easy concepts. So let us see. Let me tell you a few more concepts about this. Before going forward, let me explain you some mathematical concepts. So, have you? I think you maybe heard about the modulus. So, I want to hear from you. 10 modulus 2. Can you answer this, like how much output we will get? If you are aware, or you can say like you are not aware, that's completely fine. 10 modulus 2. Or the C, you may also answer this if you are interested. Like 10 modulus 2. Please unmute yourself and give the answer. I'm not able to hear you. What kind of value we may get? We may get 5, or like in this is in like technical term. Anything, like whatever there is in your mind, you may answer. 5, 0, 2, 3, or you don't know. You may also answer it like I don't know.
इसका
10 mod. Okay, you are thinking in that way, like 10 ka 2%. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Aswini, any input from your side? I think Aswini on mute. Okay, that's fine. So,
Can be
uh,
5.
okay, 5. Okay. So yes, please be on mute. I'll explain. So if 10 modulus 2, this percentage sign is called modulus. Okay, if 10 modulus 2 is 5, then what would be 10 divided by 2? So the value of 10 divided by 2 is 5, not the modulus. So what the modulus is? Modulus will always give the remainder. If you divide 10 by 2, then how much remainder you will get? You will get 0, because that will exactly divided by 2. Okay, for an example, you the output of this would be 0. Reminder, जो भाग देने के बाद, जो डिवाइड करने के बाद remaining amount बचता है, that is called that modulus. So in this case we will not get anything. Let us say we have 10 modulus 3. So in this case, what will be the output? 10 divided by 3 नहीं, 10 modulus 3. Modulus means the remainder. शेष कितना बचता है? So the remainder would be 10 divided by 3. Means 3 times this will exactly get divided, and we will like remain with the remainder is 1 this time. So I think in that our schooling time we have seen such kind of things, like we used to have this type of table. Okay, here we have 10, let us say 10, and need to divide by 3. Then uh, like first you will be 3 threes are 9, you to like that, and the remainder is 1. So I think you have done these kind of things. Okay, so we always need to look, when we use the modular sign, we always need to look for the reminder. Just an example, the same thing, if you will do 10, just like 10 divided by 4, 10 modulus 4, then the output would be 2, because exactly 4 2s are 8, we will get the remainder as 2. And if I say 10 modulus 5, then the output would be 0, because this time we will not be left with any kind of remainder. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of this modulus. Don't think like it's and divided is different thing, and it's not also like 10 ka 2%, 10% of the two. It's not like that only. So we just need to focus on the reminder. Okay, I hope you got that. If not, that you may unmute yourself and ask. Okay, now let me write one more statement. Let us say integer, let's say t is equal to 0, t less than equal to less than equal to 100, and t plus plus. Okay, print t. Okay, print t, and let us say if, and I'm putting an if condition inside this. If t modulus 5 is equals to 0, then print one more line like hello. Yeah, so I need to do that. So my logic starts from here. Let me separate this as well, and we also check the output of this as well, like what kind of output we are going to get. Here, what I'm doing, let me explain it again. I have defined integer, a single integer with like with one. Let's start it with one. Okay, integer t is equal to one, and this is the condition t is less than equal to 100, and then we are using the increment operator. So console dot write line. Okay, first we will print like t. This would be one. Okay, then we will check if t the reminder t modulus 5. So like one modulus 5 is not equal to 0, so this if condition will not get executed. When this if condition will get executed, when the first time when the value of t would be 5, 5 modulus 5 is equal to 0, this condition this particular condition getting satisfied, and we will get hello as the output. And then the next time this will get only, because every time we want reminder at 0, when we divide any number with 5 we should get reminder at 0. We will not get the reminder at 0 in case of 6, 7, 8, or 9. But in case of 10, like if the value of t is 10, 10 modulus 5 will again get the 0. So yeah, this is how it should execute. Let us run and analyze the output. Yeah, let us see. You first start from here as well. You that the result of the or previous mathematical command is 0 and 1. And this execution for loop started from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then hello, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then hello. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of modulus. Okay, and how the if conditions and other conditions can be right inside the for loop. Okay, is that clear? I guess. Okay, now I have one more assignment for you guys. These are very practical assignment that are asked during the interview. Print one and odd numbers with, or I can say using, modulus operator. Okay, by using this operator you need to print even and odd numbers up to like say 10 or 100. Okay, but you should like there are many ways to print even and odd numbers, but in this particular assignment you have to use this modulus operator. Okay, it's very easy, like you can see what are the even numbers. So this only you need to change this logic. So what are the even number? If you are dividing anything with 0 and you are not like remained with any kind of reminder, then that number would be even. Like t divided by 2, if we'll write over here, then we'll get all the even number. Okay, and if we get any kind of reminder, like for an example, take it negative, like t divided by 2, and if we are getting any kind of reminder, then that value would be odd value. Okay, so you need to think in this way, and please do it at your own self. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so far we have understood two different loops, while loop and for loop, the use cases of while loop and like for loop. Now we the third loop we are going to discuss is that, let me, yeah, first we have used while loop, and from here, like this was the for loop. Okay, The second one was like this for loop, and third is it's do while loop. It's very similar to the while loop, but there is still there are some differences. I'll explain. This is do while loop. Okay, in do while loop. So let me explain you through this diagram. This was the just keep this particular diagram in your mind. This was the do while loop. When initially we were starting the program, then we were checking the condition, then we will executing the statement and again verifying the conditions. But in case of do while, first we will start and then we'll check the statement. Okay. Now after executing a statement, then we'll come to the condition. Okay, we'll verify the condition. If the condition true, then again check the statement. Okay, if condition is false, then exit. If condition true, it keeps on rotating. But the basic difference between this in this particular loop, while loop, the statement is after the condition checking, and in case of do while, the statement is before like the statement is before condition checking. So that is the only difference. Okay, in that first we will check the condition. If condition is fast, then we'll execute. The condition is passed or true, then we'll check the statement. And here first we will execute the statement, we'll print or do some operations, then we will check the conditions. Okay, so this is how like this do while loop will work. I'll show you practically as well. Okay, yeah, so I hope you have understood this. Let me explain this programmatically. So the syntax of this same. Let's start the similar that we have started. The while loop, we have defined a value integer r is equal to 1. Okay. Now in while loop we were directly writing while and condition like this, but in this body, like we will not write this body. First we will write a do condition. We'll write a do condition and give this body to this, and this will here we will just check the condition. Okay, we'll do the order statement. First we will start the program, we will execute our statement, and then we'll verify the condition. This is how this will work. Let us say oh, print r. Okay, so I hope I have explained you lots of concept. Based on that understanding, you should answer it correctly. Like what kind of output this time we gonna get? We will get like let us say we cannot take it true as always. Otherwise, this would be infinite loop. Let us say r should be less than equal to 10. So what kind of value we can expect? Will you going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to like 10 or something else? So by just looking at this, you should be very clear. Like the output, according to me, the output would be 1, 1, 1. Why so? Because like we are not incrementing any, we are not using any increment or decrement operator before this or after this. Then the value of r would be same in every iterations. How the value of r would get increased? Let us execute it and see and the output. Okay, and the execution result is like you're printing infinite times 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, why so? Why it's doing like this? Because the value of r is always 1. We'll start the execution from here. Okay, let me we'll start the execution from here. Okay, from here so r is 1, then we'll come and print 1 over here. Then we'll go to this condition, we'll check 1 is less than equal to 10. Yes, this condition is satisfied. Again going to execute the statement. Statement is print 1. We are not increasing the value of r again. Okay, so this has been printed 1. Then again come to this while condition. Still the value of r is 1 only. The 1 is less than equal to 10. Print 1. So on. this will keep printing 1 1 1 1 infinite times. Okay, so yeah, that is like technically we have doing some mistake over here. So to overcome this, what you need to do, just increase the value of r. Okay, at the runtime, yeah, you have increased the value of r, like r plus plus, or this is like increment, post increment. Okay, now if you going to print this, then what kind of output will you get? This time you get the perfect output like 1 2 3 4 5 up to 10. This time what happened? First come like start the program. Okay, this is the starting point. uh, Start. This is our second number is our statement according to the diagram, and third number is condition checking. Okay, the similarly that I explained, start, statement, and condition checking. Okay, first we'll start from here, then we'll print this. Now after printing we have increased the value of r by 1. Now the r has been 2. Okay, till this r was 1, but now r has been 2. So now if we'll check the condition. R means the latest value of r is 2. Now 2 is less than equal to 10. Yes, it's correct. Then again go to the statement. Again go to this statement. We'll print 2 and again increase the value of 2 by 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now we'll check 3 is less than equal to 10. Yes, 3 is less than equal to 10. Then this condition is again true. Will 2, and this will keep on executing. And now at the end the value of r is, let us say after 10 the value of r is 11. So 11 is not less than equal to 10. So this condition is false, and this will not go to the statement again. This will terminate or end the loop. This is how this will work. So all these operations at the time of while loop we were writing after the while, but in case of do while we are writing all these condition before the while. So like there is a question like how many times, or I can say this do statement will like minimum, at least how many time, minimum time this do statement will get executed. So the answer is once. At least once this will get executed, whether this condition is passed or fail. The first time when we will come after starting this loop, when we will come inside the do, this statement will get executed. Further, the execution of this do statement depends upon this condition pass or fail, but at least once this do will get executed. Okay, yeah. So what if I write it like this instead of writing r plus plus? Okay, let me write it like this. Now what kind of value will you get? Kind of value you can expect? Will you get 1 to 10? Again, let us see. So the value this time you are going to get is little bit different. It's 2 to 11, right? Because it's very easy to understand why we are getting 2 to 11. You can say very easy, like the value of r is 1. Then before printing this value, we are just increasing it with 1. So now the value of latest value of r is 2, then just print 2. Okay. Then we'll check the condition. 2 is less than equal to 10. Yes, 2 is less than equal to 10. Then print. Okay. Then the latest value is now 2. Then again this statement will get started execution, and now the latest value of 2 has been 3. Then print 3. 3 is less than equal to 10. Okay, so this is how this will work. So at the end, for an example, why it's printing 11? Because at the end there would be the value of r is 10. So 10 is less than equal to 10. Yes, this condition is satisfied. Again go inside the loop, and this r plus plus will increase the value of 10, then print the statement. So the latest value of r would be 11, and after 11 this will not get executed. Okay, because on 10 itself, r the value of 10 itself, this has been terminated. Okay, this is how this will work. Let me print one more statement for you guys. Let us say mm, do what you need to do. Let us say, mm, what are the example that I need to explain you? Here, say yeah. Let's write R plus plus. Okay, you have done this. Now print R. Okay, we already have defined R over here. Don't worry about that. This is a different do statement, and this one is I'm considering, or you may comment it out as well. It's your wish. Let's make it little bit separate. Okay, so now uh, what I'm doing over here, let me break the statement. I'm putting simply putting break. I already have explained you break statement many times, and here as well. If I used the break statement over here, then what would be my output? Let us execute it and see it yourself. I should get the output as 2 because after printing the first statement, this loop should get terminated. Like it's printing 12. Okay. So it's successive. Like this also have been executed. Let it execute again. So we should get the output as 2. Okay, we get 2 because this we started this, then we are doing like do this, executing this condition. The condition is increase the value of R. Yes, the latest value of R is 2, so 2 got printed. After this we are just breaking the statement. Break means come out of the loop. This while condition will never get executed. Okay, this will not get executed, so there is no meaning of like while this time because we are breaking this loop before navigating to the while. So yeah, this is how this will get like printed. So yeah, always remember these kind of thing. So this is a standard interview question as well. Let me ask you, it's very like commonly asked question, what is the difference between while loop and do while loop? Difference between while and do while. Okay, so it's very easy, you just need to answer it in one statement. In case of while loop, first we will check the condition, then execute the statement. And in case of do while, first at least once we will execute the statement, then we'll verify or check the condition. That is the like major difference between this. Okay, so you have understood it clearly. I hope like let you can unmute yourself if you have any question or doubt on this particular thing. Otherwise, we'll move proceed. Okay. Now we have understood while, for loop, and do while loop. There are some use cases of for loop as well. We also discussed the use cases for while loop. Similarly, like we have use cases in this particular, like I have told you that at pagination or cross-holds kind of application we have to use while loop. If I talk about the for loop, the, the use cases of for loop is like, let me write it for you. For loop use cases, when we would be required the for loop. So at the time we would be required the for loop when we have sure about the cycle and iterations, like how many times we have to execute any particular loop. When sure about like say cycles and or iteration, that time we need to do that. Or some other practical example like there are some menu items, let us say open any kind of portal. Let us say I'm using Amazon. Okay, let's so the value, these kind of things, these crossholds may be changed every time. but like most of the time these menu would be same. You will get fresh over here, today deal, buy again, Amazon Pay, gift card. Okay, so you are aware like this is 4 5 6, like around 10. You have 10 fixed values on the menu. This is called menu. So on the dashboard page you have this kind of menus over here. So in this case, you may use for loop over here when you are like sure about the total number of cycles or iteration you need. So to navigate, just like there might be in Selenium, there might be a scenario like click on gift cards. So you should, like, you may be aware like gift card is on 1 2 3 4 5 fifth place. So that would be fixed. Like most of the time, that would be fixed. So in this case, you may use for loop. Okay. So in case of menu items, okay, or like to locate total number of let us say links or images on the page. This at the time of Selenium, I'll explain you that how to calculate how many links are present on this page, okay, and how many images are present you can get over there. So that would be fixed, like 10 images, 20 images. So in this case, we may use for loop, and there are our multiple operations just like in drop downs as well to get the value of drop down. Okay, and okay, in web tables, I'll also explain the concept of web tables. To handle the web tables, that time we may use this kind of. So these were the use cases for loop. And what are the use cases of do while loop? So do while loop, where would be it would we use? So sometimes we have to define some custom weights. Okay, custom weights. That time we will be needed do while loop, and like first before like verifying the condition, if we need to execute any statement, just an example, like get the elements when the element is get displayed. So we may need to verify the condition if the element is displayed or not. So we will put that condition inside this do statement. Okay, so let us say element is displayed kind of condition. Okay, yeah, we will do that. So yeah, later I'll explain for each loop. Okay, so this is done. Like three loops I have explained you so far. The third we are going to discuss is for each loop, but like that is little more tricky. To understand the for each loop, we should be aware about the concept of array and array list. Okay, so going forward in this particular session, I'll explain you the array. That is a new topic. Array. Always remember array and array list. Array, we can call it array as well. So array, let's me create a new separate class to understand the array. This is called array concepts. Okay, so we will use whatever we have understood in the topic of loops so far. We will again use like in this particular like array class, but like first I'll explain you from the scratch like what is array and how that works. Okay. Okay. So let's start it first. You need, as I told you every day, like we would be needed the man method. So I have copied. Let's make it something else. Not okay. Okay, we have array concepts. This is our main method. Okay, fine. So what is array? First, okay, this is a fresh topic, guys. So please be concentrate. Like this is the topmost, one of the topmost concepts of any programming language. If you would understand this, then you would be very super like in understanding the concept of any other thing. Or I can say it's a heart of any type of programming language. Okay, so if you are comfortable writing array list, then you can do, and you can do magics in any programming language. So be aware, like little bit more focused while understanding this topic. So the array many like the concepts of many concepts are depend upon the array. So we'll see different kind of like array, static array, its benefit and its limitations we are going to discuss in this particular topic. Okay. So I have created a new class for you. So the challenges we face is like that. For an example, you have multiple values. For an example, you have to store uh, some employee's name. There is a company and there are hundreds of employees are working over there. Or you mean you need to store their roll number one to from 1 to 100 you need to store. Okay, so how will you do that? There is a first approach to do it is like that: roll number, integer roll number is equal to 1. Okay, then int. So further what will you do? You may sign like this, like roll number, the latest roll number is 2. Okay, and then 3 is equal to 3. Okay, maybe 4. So if you'll do like that, then and then we'll print every time you will print the value of roll number. Okay, so this would be messy, like this is not possible. Tomorrow, like today you have hundreds of values you are defining like this. Tomorrow there are companies where lakhs of employees are working, thousands of employees are working. So will you define like the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this? So no, so this is the problem. Okay, so and we will print like this, then the output would be 4 because 4 is the latest value of roll number. Okay, so our requirement is like that we need such a operator then can store multiple values in a single variable. Here we are using a single value in single variable, but we want such an attribute or such an data type that may store multiple values in single. So array can do that. Array is the solution for that. Array have capacity to store multiple values in single variable. Okay, how that will work, I'll explain you. So array is kind of, I'll say array is a non-primitive type of data. Okay, because we can create object of array, that's why it's called non-primitive type of data. So how array can will work, I'll explain you. Let me open the ms paint. Yeah, let us see. We are understanding array over here. So array would be like this. Okay, in array we can store multiple values like this. This will occupy the space inside memory. Okay, or let us make it 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so array will save the value like this. Okay, first it's going to save like 1, or we can say like 10, and we have 20 and 30. Let's say if we have multiple values like roll number 40, roll number 50, if we have the values like this. Okay, so this is how the we can store values inside an array. If we talk about uh, the simple data type, then integer, just say roll number is equal to 10, then there would be a single block. But in case of array, we have multiple blocks like 10 is equal to 10, 20, 30, and all in a single memory space. And also there would be an indexing for every value. Like this is located on 0. Okay, index always start from 0, always remember. Then 2. At the third, at the second, the value is third over there, and at fourth the value is 40 over there, and at like fourth the value is 50 over there. So this is how array is gets like represent inside the memory. Okay, So this is the representation of array. So the value of array 0 would be 10. Okay, these are the kind of multiple we can store as at the time of definition, or like I told you that we can store multiple values in a single variable. Okay, so the variable is single, just like I. So it's not like I, J, K, L, M. No, no. Every this like everything is referring to this I. It's I0. Okay, and this is I1. This is I2, I3, or I4. Okay, so everyone is I. So we have in by using array we have defined multiple values of a single data type. Okay, how to explain it, like how to write it programmatically, I'll explain you. First understand the concept of array, why we are using this. So this is called indexing. Okay, so this is called indexing basically. These all are indexes, that 1 2 3 4 5. This is indexing. Okay, and what about this, what is this? Let us say, or this 0, what is this? So this is the lowest index. Okay, and this is the highest index. This is the lowest index, Li. I'm representing it with Li, and this is the highest index. Got it? So the value of lowest index over here is how much? 0. Because the lowest index 0 is index 1 2 3 4 5. These all are indexes, and the value of highest indexes over here is, you can see like over here is like 4. Okay, so the lowest index is 0. This will always be 0, but highest index may vary. So always remember this. The lowest index in array is always 0. Okay. So the indexing of array always start from the 0, not from like 1, 2, 3, 4. Always the lowest index will always be 0. Indexing will always start from the 0. This 10 is stored on 0 position, 20 is stored on first, and so on. Okay. So now, what is the? Let me ask you, like, what is the length of this array? What would be the length of this array? So you can see like how much blocks this have. That is the length of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is the length of this array. There is a formula as well to calculate the length. I'll tell you. But like you can easily understand, we have 5 values, 1, 2, 3. Then the length of array is 5. If we have 10 values, the length of array is 10 values. If there are 10 values stored inside, 10 multiple values are stored inside a single data type, single variable, that is called the length, total length. So here we have length. Also, like if you need to calculate the highest index, so you may use this formula as well. If you need to calculate highest index, that would be length minus 1. Okay, that is the way to calculate highest indexes. So in this case, like as you can see, the length is 5. Okay, minus 1 is equal to 4. So you can see that this 4, like this is the highest index, and you are getting the same over here, length minus 1. You are getting this here as well. And as I already told you that the lowest index will always be 0. Okay, so this is called the formula. As I told you that there is a formula to calculate uh, this length is that array size, array size, or you can say array length. If you need to calculate this array size or array length, then how would you do that? Is equal to L dot length. L is like this is a variable, like we have I, so we can say I dot length. If you will use like this I dot length, then this will give you the resultant. Okay, so always remember like the data type which you have defined dot length. If you will use this, then you can calculate it the length over there. Okay, So yeah, this may be seems a little bit confusing or tricky to you, but you will be very clear at the time of practical implementation of this. So yeah, so further, just like you have defined this, like five length array, or like this, you may have a number of, like you may take, let us say, 1 to 100. This is the, let me, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so you may take hundreds length of array. The above example was of length was like 5, but here we are saying like 100. So the lowest index li is 0 always, and the highest index would be length minus 1. Length is 100, minus 1 is 99. Okay, so you may define n number of things over here. So you can easily get, like, the length of this is would be 100, lowest indexes would be 0 always, and the highest index is length minus 1. So length is 100 minus 1. Okay, yeah, so remember these simple concepts. Further, you can write 1,000 lines or 1,000 value array, or 10,000 value array. That depends upon the requirement. But the problem with this array is that, can you store, like you have stored 10, 20, okay, 30. So can you store a string value over here? Just like, can you store a name like Ramesh? Can you do like that? So that is not possible, because if you are taking the variable is integer type of variable, like integer I you have taken, then all values that you are storing inside array should be integers only. You cannot take the random values like integer, string. Yeah, you may store all the values as string only. Then for that you need to define a string kind of variable. Let us say string s. So now you can create a separate array for this string, and you can store all the string values inside that. But like that should be specific for a single data type. Okay, you cannot store random values. Okay, if one the value is you are storing just like integer, and other value you are storing like string. Then you are storing character. Not all the values should be identical in case of array, whether they would be integer, float, string, whatever, but all the values should be similar kind of data type they should have. This is the kind of restriction, I would say. And yeah, so this is how this will work. Yeah, you, and like, if you have an integer, let me tell you one more example. Let us say you have double kind of array. So yes, in this case, you have multiple blocks in the memory. Okay, okay. So you may store over here is like 12.33, or like 1.22, or I would say 10. 10, yeah. So this will work, because in double you may store like integer values as well. This will consider is like 10.00. But like if you want to store it over here is like something like test, then you cannot do that, because this is separate values, separate data type, data family values. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Let me show you practically. Open the Visual Studio. Okay, so comment these values. Let us say first we'll discuss the integer array. Integer array, yeah. So to represent an array, the similar kind of syntax, just we are defining data type. Let us say integer I, and you need to use square brackets with I. If you find these kind of square bracket, that means this is an array. This square brackets always represents an array in C sharp. Okay, array is equal to, we will use a keyword called new. New is used to allocate some memory, okay, and then integer, and we will again use these like square brackets, and in these square brackets, okay, so we need to define the value, the length of this particular, like how many blocks you want to create, how many values you want to store. Let us say I want to store four values, okay, so this is how this will work. Okay, there is an error. Bad array declare, to declare manage array, the rank specified variables identify. Okay, we'll look into this as well. Okay, so this is how an array would get, like bad array declare, to declare manage. This is the warning for the latest version of this Visual Studio. Okay, okay, you meant to say like this now. So this is how an array would get like defined, but oh, I need to check it, like why it's showing this kind of error. Okay, bad array declare, to declare manage array, the rank specified precious values are fixed size buffer field. Use the fixed keyword before the field type. Okay, we may write it like this as well. This as well, yeah. There are different ways to represent it. You can represent it like this only, and sometimes some like programmers used to represent like this also. Okay, there are different ways to represent it, but always remember not to forget this square bracket. So let us say integer, and you put this square bracket with integer, and I is equal to new is a keyword to allocate the memory, and this is the size. Like you need to store five values, then you will five. If you want to store 100 values, then you will put 100 over here. So let us say we just want to store four values, four consecutive values. Okay, yeah. So I hope you have understood this syntax. This is the basic syntax of an array. So like if I'm taking a simple integer, let us say I is equal to 0. So the main difference between this simple integer and this array is that in this I can store only single values. Okay, if I want to store multiple values, then I cannot do that. But if I'm using this curly braces, this is called as an array, then I can store multiple values like 0, 2, 3, 4, whatever I want, up to 4. Like I need to define the exact like value over here, like how many values I want to store inside this array. So I need to specify that particular thing over here. Okay, that's cool. So this is an array statement. Now, if you want to store the value, square bracket represent it's an array variable. Okay, not a normal variable. That's why we have used square bracket. Okay. So right now we haven't allocated any value to this. We are just declaring any array. If I will say what is the value of I, then we are not like we haven't assigned the value yet. We are just declared it. So to enter the values, we need to use indexing concept. What does that mean? So let us say integer. If I want to store like integer 0, then let us say the value of 0 is 10. Okay, it's not 0, it's 0. Yeah, it's showing some error. Array size cannot be specified variable declaration. Okay, okay, not int. Let us take reference variable. It's I. So the value of I0 is 10. Okay, let us say 20, 30, 40. Okay, so this is how you will allocate the value. Here you just creating space inside this memory. So you have created four blocks. Now you are entering the values inside those four blocks. Okay, so I hope you have understood this concept. Like if you write this line, if you wrote this particular line, this line, I'm talking about this line, then a space got created inside the memory with four blocks like 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, but this was empty, like the index of this was like this 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, but this was empty. But here what we are doing, we are assigning the values. This 10 we are assigning to 0, to 1 we are assigning 20, to 2 we are assigning 30, and to like 3 we are assigning 40. So now the value of I01, I1 20, I2 30. This is how like we have to store the multiple values inside the memory. So I hope you have understood this, and like how much memory this will store, how much memory this will take. As you know that in a single integer used to take like 4 bytes. So this will take 4, and we have 4 integers over here. Okay, so 4 into 4, 16 bytes. So the memory this will store would be 16 bytes, guys. Okay, and like also remember is that uh, so when like this would be sequencing that in the memory, I would say this the value would be stored inside the sequencing order itself, like first 10, then 20, 30. It's not like we are doing we are storing like first 30, then 10, and then 50. No, for an example, if we go inside any building where there are lots of flats are there, so they are in sequencing order, flat 1, flat 2. They cannot like allocate like first let's say flat 99, then it's coming flat 77. It would be very hard to locate the values if their value would be assigned randomly. So this should be like sequential order, like 0 1 2 3, and inside the memory. Okay, so let us say now I want to print the values. Let us say what is the value of I0, what output I'll get if I want to calculate the value of I at 0 place. Okay, so what would be the output? Let us see, execute. Yeah, so value of I0 should be 10. Why 10? Because we have assigned the 10 value to I0. If you want to calculate, let us say I3, if you want to calculate the value of I3, then what will be the value of I3 you gonna get? Obviously, you should get 40 over here. Let's execute it again and see the output by yourself. Yeah, you get 40 over here. Correct. So this is how you need to assign and get the values using. So in this case, what is the highest index? What is the highest index of this? Let us say start from the lowest index. So lowest index means I0. This is the lowest index. So lowest index would always be 0. And what is the highest index? This one is the highest index. This is the 3. Only 4 value you can store inside this. If you try to like, yeah, this kind of, if you try to store 50 inside this. Okay, so so there is no as such error at that compile time, but at the run time you will get error because you have specified it like length 4 only. Okay, I'll explain you this as well, but now let's understand this like in deep as well. So for an example, I have assigned like I3 and I'm getting the output as 40, and in the above case I'm getting the output as 10. But if I want to print like I4, what would be the output of mine? What kind of output will I get? Because I don't have like I4 values. Only have 4 values. I4 means like I don't have any value over here. So what kind of value should I get? There is no as such error you can see. No compile time error. We may get runtime error, but that depends. So let us execute it and see the output like what we will going to get. So there is an exception, index out of range exception. Okay, this is saying, so yeah, let me stop it. This got hanged. Yeah, you get this exception, index out of range, because you are defining, you are trying to get a value of such index for that there is no value exist. Okay, so that's why this is not in the range. we can define only 0, 1, 2, 3 because we are like put some limitation over here. We can store 4 values inside this. That's why we got the index out of range exceptions. Okay, so we will get exception. And what if I'll, let us say, I'll do like I minus 1. In this case, what the value I can expect if I want to do like this. So this is also showing an warning indexing an array with a negative index. So this want to say that indexing cannot be start from the negative number. Indexing will always be start from the zero or positive number. So the syntax is itself wrong. And even though if you will execute it, even though if you say if you want to execute it and see that exception that you get, again you are going to get index out of range exception in this case as well, and or it's not allowed. You cannot store like or get negative values from an array. Okay, let us say you directly print I. You are not defining like I0 or I1 which value you want to get. You directly printing I over here. In this case, what will you get? Let us check. This is also an index. Okay, sorry, we need to first comment that. Otherwise, this will keep on throwing exception. And after that, let's run this. We'll get an interesting output this time. Yeah. So this is giving system int 32. So this is just saying I cannot give you any kind of values because to get the values you need to use proper like indexing with me, whether you want to get the value located at 0th index or 1th or 3rd index. But like if you're directly trying to print this, then this is saying I'm this kind of value I can store. Okay, this is not that much important. Just I just show you. Okay, so also you can do mathematical operations with these index value array. The value you are going to get just like I0 or plus, let us say, I1. Okay, so you can do mathematical operations here as well. Let us execute it and analyze the output. You will get 30. 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. Okay, so yeah, this kind of things you should get. So now you easily understand this is how we will declare an array. Integer I is equal to new int the length of the array. And let us say if you want to print the length of this array, then I already have told you the formula. Let us say length. Now if you want to print the length, so the length is I dot. When you will put dot inside dot just after I and try to search length, yeah, this is the length. So I dot length will give the exact length of this an array. Okay. Yes. So this is the concept. And let us say console you want to print the highest index, hi, that would always be, as I told you, that highest index is length minus 1. Okay. So length is, let us say you can calculate the length over here as well. Let's say integer L is equal to L dot length. This is the length we will get. Okay, this is the length I dot. If you will put I dot length, then you will get the length, and now you have stored this length inside this L, a new variable, and you can print this L over here. And if you need to calculate that highest index, then length minus 1, L minus 1, you will get the highest index, and lowest index is always 0. If you say if you want to print lowest index, okay, then that would be like 0 as always. This is how this will work. Let's execute it and analyze the output by your own self. So the output would be like, let's print it. Need to execute it again. Yeah. So the length of this array is 4. Highest index is 3. Lowest index is 0. These are the three output that we got from this particular print statements. Okay. So I hope you have understood the concept of length, highest index, and lowest index. Okay. So now there kind of like multiple kind of problem we might get over here. Okay. So now from tomorrow we will going to understand, like for an example, you are printing the single values like I0, I3, I4 single values over here. If you want to print all the values together, like from index 0 to index 3, how will you do that? So we can do that by using for loop or any other loop. So we'll understand that concept from the tomorrow's session. I think that is enough for this session. Let me know if you guys have any question in this. These are, I know these are like, these are the core concept of programming language. So you need little more focus on this. Yeah. So Aswini, you have any standing question right away?
No, no, I don't have.
So you understood it clearly, like how to define, declare an array, how to store the values inside this, and how to get those values.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So thank you guys for your time, and that is, I guess, enough for this session. We will again meet tomorrow sharp at 8, and we'll discuss the further things. Okay.